Okay, so let's look now at controlling the parameters of instruments, for example. So I've set up a little instrument track here. I've got a little acidy line on it. Let me put the tempo properly. 120. Okay, unmute it. Okay, and if I go into instrument mode, channel view, the plugin synth pops up ready to edit, and that's cutoff, resonance, and 3 filter controls. These are the parameters now because we're in instrument channel view, editing all the parameters for the plugin on the selected channel, and we're in page 1. Okay. So let's control the synth now. Now, very hard to get a hold of these pots and do a quick blip up and down, up, down. It's really difficult. I'll show you that. So, got the track selected there. Just drag this setup out of the way. So I shall put Z on. Oh God, whilst selecting that, Z, auto track zoom, and then Alt Command Z will zoom that all to fit the width, the selected regions. Let me just get my pointer tool back, and A, the A key for track automation on. Okay, so we're controlling ESM cutoff. There it is. Okay, so I'll now put that track, which is selected, right? I will put that track into its the mode I want it for writing, which is going to be not write, it's going to be touch. Okay, so I'll start writing some synth filter data for that pattern. Let's hear it. Not very successful, was it? Let me try that again. Undo. It's really hard to turn a pot up quick and turn it down quick. Turn it up quick, turn it up down quick. But unfortunately, all the parameters for the synths are pots. Try it again. Not that easy. Alright, I'll undo it. I'll tell you what you need to do. Here's a little tip. Upper shift and this button there. Upper shift and that button there. Oh, it's now gone into flip mode. If you look at the setup here now, flip mode has been activated and it's gone to duplicate. I'll put it back. This shift and this button. Now it's back to off. Flip mode is off. So this is the fader. Let me open the mixer. This is the fader for the selected channel, and that's for number 2, and that's number 3 as usual. But these are still all the parameters for the synth. Just move this panel out of the way. Now look at the synth. Cutoff, free resonance, filter controls, etc. But put it into this upper shift and this button. Flip mode, and it goes into this. Look, flip mode, duplicate. Now this is brilliant. Flip mode means that the faders are now duplicating the pots. So that is the cutoff, but so is the fader. Look. Okay, that is amazing. Let's close that instrument. I'll come out of flip mode first. Let's close that instrument and let's step to a plugin, a channel with plugins on. There, say. Let's open. Let's go to plugin mode, and this is channel view, and I'll open a second plugin on the selected track, the compressor. Okay, there it is. Now, we're in a compressor, page 1 of its parameters. We're controlling all its parameters. So now we've got, look, threshold, ratio, attack, release. Hold this button and press that. Upper shift and this button there. We're into flip mode, but we haven't gone out of plugin mode, so we're still controlling that plugin. But now, that's the compressor threshold, ratio, attack, release, but these are duplicating it. The faders are duplicating. They're not doing the volumes of the channels anymore. So now you've got V. Oh, and these are so much easier to control. Trust me, like blip, blip. I mean, none of this with your fingers trying to grip these pots. Flip mode is your answer, mate. So let me just switch out of flip mode. Okay, and then we'll go into instrument view. Oh, let me change the channel first. Instrument view. There we are. Now, we're now controlling the parameters. Cutoff, resonance, and the 3 filter controls. We're in instrument channel view on page 1. upper shift and this corner button there, put it into flip mode rather. It's gone into flip mode to duplicate, and now, hallelujah, these are now controlling my cutoff, resonance, etc. So now you watch me try and do these blips with this instead. Much more successful. Are you ready? Wasn't, was it? Let's try that again. I've lowered the tempo, by the way, so I'll put it right down the bottom. Let me do that again. I'm going to try and make each. Come on, undo! Jesus, bloody wet. Let's try that again. Right. Right, so put it to its lowest travel. I've lowered the tempo because this was the original tempo and it's pretty hard to do it at that tempo. Look. I mean, it's much easier with the fader, but it still ain't easy. Undo that. Come on. Right. So I suggest if you're trying to do some fast automation, I mean, if I'm just doing a filter sweep up and lazily down again, fine. You don't need to change tempo. Watch. God knows what happened there. Sorry. As I say, Logic's absolutely crap automation. Let's try that again. Fairly successful. Let's undo that. But it's when you want to do the fast ones. Yeah? Not so easy. I mean, I didn't do it bad. Okay, but you can see using the fader is, oh my god, let me try that with the pot. Oh god, no, forget it. The fader is, flip mode is your friend. But to make you even more friends with your composition, that tempo was in 120. This is the real tempo. Right, quite successful. But you know what? You can slow the tempo down. Double click it and make it 80. You have to mute any audio tracks if they're not Apple loops that will speed up or slow down with the tempo. But if you get into troubles doing fast blips of controller automation for writing automation for your synths, slow the tempo down. Now watch. Come on. Right, that's not what I wanted. I wanted each peak to be a bit bigger, right. Yeah, I quite like that. No, I don't. Let's do it again. But you see, slow it down. You use the, you know, the flip mode, and then it's so much easier moving these faders and these pots. And then put your tempo back to the right tempo, and you're rocking. Okay, now you can thin this data out a bit, but sadly you can't set it to snap, to a quantize. Now I've assigned that command, track automation, delete redundant nodes, to this S key, and I can press it any time. And watch these nodes. Watch. Yeah, see they thin out. Now it's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. So there's a couple of tips for you. Just get into using this flip mode. It's really good. Alright, flip mode, off, on, and then off. And then we're back to just the pots, but these are the faders for each channel again. Actually, I think, pretty sure that works in EQ. Let me come out of this instrument view. Choose the second channel. Let's go into EQ channel view. Bring up the EQ. So at the moment we're EQ channel view, so this band, we're in the second page, so that's band 3, band 4. Okay, let's try that. Flip. Now we're into flip duplicate. So this will still be the gain, but so is the fader. Yay! Hey, look at it go up and down. So now I can write automation data for that. Well, actually, tell you what, let's sweep that filter. Let's widen the Q a bit. Let's sweep that instead with the frequency, right? So here we. No, Wrong! Do it on the... not that track, I want that track. Which doesn't have an EQ, but when I go into EQ channel view, it'll put one on. Right, so second page, turn up the frequency. I'm going to do EQ sweeps on this as well now. I wonder if this will auto change. Like channel EQ. Well, let's see what happens. I haven't got time for anything else. So I put it in flip mode. So this is now, the faders are now duplicating the pots. We're in EQ page 2, so that's band 3 and 4. So that's the gain. And that's the frequency for EQ band 3. Right, here we go. Let's try writing some of that. Well, you see it's working. But you know what? Let's put the gain up. Anyway, look, you know, I'm not taking care now because I've run out of time. But you get the point. Even EQ mode can be put into the flip view, and then it's a little bit like that frequency gain mode, right? Except it's not. Basically, the faders are now copying the controls here. Reset, reset as usual. Brilliant! So you can use these faders for doing your automation in flip mode. Now flip mode is off, and these go back to being the faders for the channels again. But because we're in EQ channel view, all the EQ parameters are controlling the EQ for just the selected and highlighted channel. Well, I hope that's been useful. I just really needed to add those extra bits in actually, otherwise it just wasn't complete. Okay, so there you go. Use touch most of the time. Get into slowing down your tempo when you're doing bits, and for God's sake use flip mode, because that way you get control of the faders, and they are so cool for then adjusting your parameters for EQ, plugins and the instruments. Okay. Alright, well we'll leave it to that, and that really is it this time. I mean, there's a few other things it will do. It'll open screen sets and stuff. I can't even remember what the keys in it are anymore. I think it's lower shift and... Right, so you can get your screen sets like that. This lower shift and that's screen set 1, screen set 2, which is opened off screen, screen set 3, screen set 4. You can see it changing on the menu, screen set 5. So those are your screen sets, etc. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you can incorporate that, and there are other things. Read the manual for that, yeah. Okay, so I hope that's shown you more about how you can actually use it, the realities of using it to actually write stuff. And that's the lot. Yeah, sorry, just one last little thing. There's tons and tons of questions on the internet about how you stop the faders from moving. Obviously you don't want to switch the unit off. Well, look, for example, I've put in a bunch of exaggerated fader movements. You're unlikely to get this much in your own compositions, but there's going to be points along the way when you're mixing, when you want to review the mix in peace and quiet, and if there's a lot of fader movement, then it's going to be distracting. So look, you know, it's exaggerated, but you can see what I'm talking about. So you can turn off by just going into flip mode, just this upper shift and this corner button there. Flip mode, like that, and it turns them off. And because flip mode puts it into like duplicate, these are now controlling the, you know, these are duplicating the pans, so they're not moving around. I mean, they would if you had pan automation going on, but well, that's one way anyway. You can turn the faders off temporarily. Yeah. Flip mode on, flip mode off. And if I was in EQ mode, same thing, they'd still be running, because even in EQ mode they're still working as faders or plug-in mode or anything else, but you can do the same there. Flip mode, yeah? Okay. Alright, there you go, just thought I'd add that last little bit.